What's good word, everyone? My name is Kenny Varner. I'm the owner of SportsBooks.com. Welcome to the show. So, we're here to talk about parlays and do they work? And it's an emphatic yes. They are called moneyline parlays, and I know everyone loves to say parlays don't work. This doesn't work. Doesn't settle down, everyone. First of all, let's get to parlays. Now, the parlays are not all built the same. When you're doing a 14 parlay or more, no, because they don't get you the correct odds. If they gave you 10-1 odds on a 14 parlay, then maybe we can revisit that. But the truth is, they do not give you value for a 4-team, 5-team, 6-team, 17, 8, 9. I've done videos in the past. I've done stuff from 4 or 5 years ago. I've written down everything. I was in a testing mode at one point. I was in a let's go see. So what really works for us here at SportsBooks.com? What really works is the money line parlay, and this is exactly why. You gotta set yourself up for plus money. I've done videos. I've done stuff where not even so much videos as in research. And actually, when I say research, I mean like put it into play. Go to Bet Online, Bovada, one of the many sports books that you should have, and set up a money line parlay. And I would do it to try to get a small spread down to minus 110. Now, when I say 90% of what I believe in still exists since 4, 5, 6 years ago, I truly mean it. The 10% that I think is not as good is if a parlay is not plus money. I would take it down to minus 105 or take it down to minus 110. And as I did that, I don't think I had good results, because good results are meaning when you learn that you're betting numbers and not teams, then life just opens up for you as a sports better. And it takes years. It took me years to figure out exactly what that means. But when you're betting a team, when you're betting a parlay, a single area bet, you're probably in a couple teams, minus 110. You still got to win 52.4% of the time to break even. In the past, I said 52%. No, 52.4. And every little percentage matters. So you still have to win 52.4%. Now, when you become better at examining the information that you see, you realize that if you hit 50% and you're at plus money on every single parlay, not most, but every single parlay, 50%, okay, you won money. When you're at 52.4%, that's the equivalent of a professional bettor hitting 55%. Now, you start hitting 55%, 54, 55%, which were on the teetering, and starting you on the process and how to do that. Then you're at 60%, which is like a professional gambler's dream. They might have 1 year where they hit 60% and they're in Valhalla. So, but the real truth is, professional gamblers, and we'll show you this in a course sometime, they have to hit 50. They hit 56%. They're through the roof at an average of minus 110. We're trying to hit 55% at an average of plus whatever, as long as it's plus 120, plus 130. And when you realize that you're betting numbers and not teams, the world is a beautiful place. So how do we do this? Now, when people talk in general terms, they say, oh, take two 10-point favorites and put them with another team and go. That's the thing. I could tell you the exact same thing, but I'm on the borderline of taking that 10-point favorite as a flat bet. Same with another 10-point favorite. Now, this is the best time to talk about this because we're not in emotion. We're not talking about specific games right now. I'm recording this 2024, June 18th. The Celtics just hammered the Mavs and won the title. So nothing is going on but baseball. So when I'm talking about money line parlays, I'm not talking one sport. I'm not talking just baseball. I'm talking when you have everything open to you. And that happens as soon as football season. Football season's here. Then there's college football, pro football, baseball still going on. When baseball goes away, college basketball reappears, and you got 3. And then the NBA is going on. So when you got a ton of games going on at the same time, can you pick 3 winners? So my favorite way, I've looked at my past notes on what I think. I would go with either 3 teams or 2 teams. Now you want to take as little risk as you will see in the risk tolerance videos all over sports.balls.com. You will see, again, you got to learn what your risk tolerance is. So when you're trying to get a 2-teamer, now the thought process is different than a 3. And I don't want to go, even in a money line, for the most part, 99% of the time, I don't want to go more than 3 teams. The less teams that are involved, the better, because you're not betting teams, you're betting the line. So the first example is this more goes along with, I would say, like NBA, college basketball, Major League Baseball, and hockey over football for this particular thing. Because when a team is minus 250, they're a big favorite when they're in baseball, or they're a big favorite when they're in NHL. NBA, it starts getting closer to the NFL, 7-8 point favorites, minus 250, minus 300. Where in football, you're talking about a 1-score game is minus 250. You're putting a 2.5 to 1 on a team that's going to be that is lined in the point spread as a 1-score game. So with football, I almost want them to be my real bet, which I will talk about what I mean real bet when we talk about the 3-teamers. So with the 2-teamers, when you get something that averages out to minus 200, like minus 220 and minus 180, what does that equal? Minus 200. So when you get something like that and get 2 of them together, now you're at plus 125. Now we're talking about something. Now with football, they might not be big favorites. With hockey, baseball, and basketball, they could be big favorites. Now, you research lines when it's a money line sport and you can research the line, you really see how big of a favorite they are. So you're like, I'm never going to give minus 250 for anything. So it's like, but would I be like, man, this guy, would I take this? Do I think they're really going to lose? And it could be a series, like the Celtics against Indiana. I saw one guy on a video. It was like, oh, I got the Celtics over Indiana. Okay, great, minus 400. No, someone just bet me it. Just someone that was watching my cast said Pacers were going to win. I said Celtics. We bet $1,000 of crypto on it. I was like, wow, that's an outstanding bet. You got to understand, it's an outstanding bet whether he wins or loses. He wins, but it's an outstanding bet no matter what. So you get something like that, minus 400. Well, we're talking about the minus 200 because this is the one I have less passionate about, but I know still works because I find teams that are undervalued in basketball, hockey, baseball. And what I mean by undervalued is they're minus 250 when they should be minus 400. That doesn't mean I can still bet them. But if I'm in, like, these guys should be a 5-1 favorite, now I think there's a 90% chance in my mind that they're going to win the game, 95% chance, and they're only minus 250. So now I'm still not going to root that 250 because every day is different in baseball, basketball. With these everyday sports, anything can happen at some time. But I match a Dodgers who are, on a 4-game winning streak and just playing the best ball they have all year with, just make up a team, the Celtics, or make them up with Vegas, who is just, has outscored the last 5 people 5-2 and just playing great. And you put them together and you get plus 125. And your goal is to that one game just hits and you're sitting with the other one at plus 125. Now, if I have something like that, say I have the Yankees minus 220 and I love them. They've won 6 in a row. They're rocking and rolling. They got their ace going. They're going to roll. They win. Then you're sitting there with Vegas at 10:30 at night. I'm going to bed. I know it's a good bet. Plus 125, win or lose. That's what we want to do. We want to set ourselves up. And that's more with a 3-teamer. But with the two at minus 200, getting them at plus 125. Now, when you throw the football type thing in there, that's kind of more towards a teaser video. Because when you're at -6, -7, it feels like the team in the NFL, it feels like the team is such a huge favorite. Not so much in college. Yeah, Kansas City 6.5. You're putting Kansas City 6.5 over Buffalo. Yeah, 1 touchdown game. Woo, that's a ton of points. And it is. And it's risky. So when you have Vegas against Arizona, against whoever, you got Vegas against the worst team in the NHL minus 250, and you got Kansas City minus 6 over Buffalo, and those two things are the same. Yeah, that's why I like to keep it with baseball, hockey, NBA, college basketball, even college football, because I can think unless I would bet the team at -7 in terms of football, and I was really confident them at -7. Then I might take them with the hockey because they only have to win the game. In this one, I am super confident in. This one is almost like the bet. So if you, the key to all of this, which people don't understand, is you have to research. You have to find your spots. It's not just take 2 10-point favorites. It's not just take 2 teams favored minus 200 and say, I can do that more than 50% of the time. It's like you still have to research into what's going on. Are they coming off a streak? Are they coming back off a home state? Or are they coming off a road trip and they come back home where the first game back home is usually not good because they're setting things all up with their family and they're not focused to play. So they can lose as a minus 250. Putting the situation together with the minus 200s works well. Now, the 3-teamer is what we're more passionate about, and maybe I can explain a little better. And I will when we're going to put all this stuff in a course and put it all in one place for you. Make it so much easier for you to navigate. And that's what we want to do here at sportsatballs.com. We want to put all the videos on here, and we're going to do some Facebook Live videos too, maybe. So, but anyway, back to the point. 3 teams. I don't like to go past 3 teams. If I have teams favored by 15, 16, 2 big favorites that I can put with a minus 200, minus 180, minus 170 team, I have to give them the plus money. If I give them the plus 130, awesome. I call that my bet team. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard people explain it or do their, real reasons why moneyline parlays work. But when I take the other 2 teams in my history with the big favorites that I've documented for myself, I know I can do it. And I know I don't have to prove to you because I'm not selling picks. I'm just giving you information that you can use when you really start digesting. It's about betting numbers, not teams. But I know through my past that 90+%, probably more, on the big favorites, they come through and win. And that's what I need to do. I need to hit 90, 95%. It's more like 95, but that's another story. Like a Man City in soccer, minus 675 with another team at minus 400. Okay, now what do you have to do? They're down to minus 350. So now I can actually do one of two things. I can find the minus 120 team, the 3-point favorite, and I'm getting plus 105. Or I can say, I like that team at minus 3. I like that team at minus 3.5. So if I give them that, if I find the team that I like flat and put two big favorites on it, I'm at plus 140 and plus 150. Now, the whole pushback is you can't just take big favorites, put them on top of your betting. And I say you can do that if you're diligent about what's going on and if you're not emotional. That's why I'm doing this video during baseball season. You know, you give me Alabama any day, Georgia any day, boom, and put them in with, say, I like Kansas City minus 3.5, whatever it might be. And so now I'm sitting watching Kansas City minus 3.5 at plus 175 instead of minus 110. I am confident that I can hit. I'm confident that I can hit 52.4% of the time, at least, on point spread bets. I know from my past that I've proven to myself that I can hit enough, 52.4%, to break even. So now, if I up that to 54, 55%, now that puts me at 58% on how much you win, because it's about the numbers. And that takes into account, if I win 56%, 54%, 53% of the flat bet part, and 95% of the two teams always get me to that mark, we're talking about numbers that bring me to what I want, which is plus money. Can I hit 50% of these bets and get plus 110, 120 per bet, you're winning money. You up that to 54% of the time, you're winning these bets at plus 120. You're rocking and rolling in the Carrier Dome, even if the Carrier Dome doesn't exist anymore. So you're still rolling along. The thing is, people like to think simplistically and not think for themselves. So they won't do the work. They'll just put, this 13-point favorite. They're not going to lose to Purdue. They're not going to lose to Oregon State. Oregon State never wins on the road. No, it's not as simple as that, because people wake and bake and wake up on Saturday, wake up on Sunday, and just say this team can't lose, that team. So they'll try to do the parlays that way. Football, I believe that football is the sport you should be able to dominate, because you get to prepare. It's up to you. Yes, you're going against sportsbooks who are unbelievably great, but you use your head. You have all week to prepare for that game. Where the baseball, hockey, and basketball, where they're everyday sports, you have to prepare yourself ahead of time. You have to be almost taking the games, looking for spots ahead of the schedule and work out the schedule. And that makes it, that I believe will make you a better percentage handicapper, seeing what's coming in the future instead of the game that's happening that day. So if you try kind of put the football mentality in your baseball betting, it could really do things for you. And we'll explain so much in a deeper videos and the courses we go through that we'll have up. But with moneyline parlays, you can win. You can watch Twitter. You can watch 700 videos out there, and 699 of them will say that parlays are for suckers. Parlays are for losers. Parlays are for that. Parlays are for this. There's so much to choose from. And even now, there's so much to choose from. And they give you the odds. And they can give you minus 700 odds on player props. Will Travis Kelce make a catch? Or, it's not an exact example, but there's clown things like this. Will this guy's over under for points in an NBA game? Halliburton is 18. There's sites out there, my bookie, Bet Online, Bovada, plenty of sites out there that have a scale down. So it's like you can put him at minus 500 if you want minus 11 points. If you want him to score, if he has to score more than 9 points, and then you look, okay, well, this is minus 500 to do this, so it's almost a guarantee, right? According to the sportsbook, nothing is guaranteed, obviously. And you've seen the last 27 games, he scored at least 10 points. That's a great thing to put into a parlay with a game that you like, or part of the, that's a minus 500. And then you like Vegas is minus 250 because that's way better. And then, here's a 6-point favorite in the NFL. I got him down to 0, even though it's a 1-score game. I'm still saying Mahomes will pull it out at the end. And then you're sitting there watching Mahomes on a Sunday night at plus 180. And what I can't get across to people enough is when you do your job with those two teams, you have confidence in your ability to read information and know how to use it, then you're sitting there plus 180. Now, if you're a fan, you watch. If you want to go out, you can, if you love watching every game, cool. If you don't love watching every game, that's cool too. Because you go and you'll turn it back on and you lost a unit or you won 1.8 units. And that's exactly how the thing goes. I have this thing written down. I don't even know if I have it down right, but I go 9-9. I remember a couple years ago going 9-9. I see other people go 9-9. Not on Twitter, of course, because they always win 80%. But I go 9-9, and I'm up 2.5 units. No one else is. I mean, 2.5 units is like the percentage of your bankroll that you bet. And it's like, if I'm up 2, then I'm up 7% or whatever at, through 18 games, which is a small sample size. But it shows you, no matter what you bet, I don't care if you bet $3 a game. I don't care if you bet $5,000 a game. I don't care about how much you bet. It's about units going up. And your units will keep going up. I've been sitting at moneyline parlays where if I lose, where there's such good plus money, if I lose that unit. If you lose half of the unit, I win a unit and a half. And that's what you want to set yourself up for over and over. And then this is repeatedly. You said it over and over and over. I know people don't watch videos this long because they're not very patient. So if you made it to the end of this video, more power to you. But it's hard to explain to people that parlays work, but you have to put in the work. People like to just go, they told me this was going to win, and then it didn't. Their fault. No, it's your fault for making the bet and making the worst bet. So, all right. Follow us on our journey at sportsatballs.com. We'll see you in the next video. Come with us, and let's make money.